That was probably the biggest culture shock for me. The first thing. We get in the house and I'm like, I'm gonna live like this? It's just different from America. So different. Cockroaches live with you. And the hardest thing for me was taking a shower. Our shower head wasn't working, so we had to use a bucket of water. Cold, cold water. And I remember the first time I showered, I was crying so much. I was bawling. I was like, I can't live like this. How am I gonna do this every day for 18 months? And my companion knocks on the door. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, fine. But like that was when it hit me. Like, I'm in El Salvador. I don't have a shower. I don't have a pillow. I didn't have all of the things we get in America. And at first I was like, I don't know, you get angry. Not angry, but you're like disappointed. And then I got used to it. And it was just the way of life, you know? I had a good system of showering with a bucket. When my trainer left and I started training, I had to put on a good face. So I pretended like everything was great, and then it suddenly did become great. I can't really remember the transition, but I had to be like, this is fine, this is great, we shower buckets. And then I was like, no, but really, it's fine. My mission was completely walking. The only people that had a car were the office people. So, walking, running, I'm just kidding, sometimes, and using the bus. That was fun. Yeah, you're on a roller coaster on the bus, and you're in a clown car because they fit as many people as they can in. There were times where I was just hanging out of the bus, holding on the rail, just hanging there. The only thing I had was holding on for my dear life, and they were going so fast, and I was just hanging there like, oh my gosh, if I let go, I'll die. Like, that's dangerous. So I would recommend not doing that in El Salvador. I'm sure the mission president would not approve of it, but there were times when you just had to jump on and you couldn't get in. Oh, I believe in the gift of tongues. I think it was not as bad as it should have been, as it would be if I didn't have that extra help, because I struggled at first, but I pushed. I mean, you really have to work for it if you want to learn the language, because there's sisters or elders that never really learn the language, you know? I don't know if you saw that in your mission, but if you don't want to, you're not going to. You have to want to learn. And I think I honestly could handle a conversation in 4 months. It went fast. And I was surprised. I mean, my whole mission I was improving. But by 4 months, I felt good about the language. Yeah, I was frustrated in the beginning of my mission because I couldn't focus on the people because I couldn't understand their problems. And I was like, how am I going to be a missionary if I don't know what I'm doing? I don't know what they're saying. So after I learned the language, it felt good. It was like, okay, now I can focus on them. And I mean, there was good and bad to both, you know? Like, when you couldn't speak the language, I feel like the Spirit did hit them harder when you spoke. And the things you said were, like, strong because it was all you knew. So it had to be good. Yeah, you're desperate. And they, like, see it. They're like, wow, these people are serious. Because you're like, I'm just a girl from Philadelphia who has never been outside of the country and barely knows the language, but I know this is true, so please listen. And they're like, okay. Oh, they had doorbells.
Okay.
And when they didn't have doorbells, you knocked really hard or you shouted because they had a lot of gates. I found that people were way more open when you asked them for help first. So you would say, do you know how to get here? Or do you know who this person is? They'd be like, oh, sure. And like they'd talk to you. And then you put in your little tidbit.